Oh, hey, Internet. Welcome back to Horgihugh on the Horihough channel. And we're back after an illness of sorts, if you caught the last video. I kind of briefly said I was battled some sort of crazy stomach bug, and yeah, we still have a couple more weeks, maybe a week and a half of the high score tournament, so figure, hey, let's get back on the bike, let's get on back on the horse and see, or back in the plane rather, as it actually might just be for this video, and get back to our fighting shape, or get back to where we were in points wise. And if I didn't already say there was a break between these videos, certainly the gameplay is going to speak for itself when when it inevitably shows up, because we play piss poor, real bad. There goes the blimp. How about that for starters? Yeah, certainly, most definitely feeling a rustiness, and I wouldn't have guessed it really. I mean, we had spent a majority of the winter off from playing, shmups, night and day, but then this just like the last week or so we tried not to puke our brains out, and and that seems to have hurt us as well. But one thing you might be noticing in our play that's a little bit different, not necessarily like super bad, particularly that pulse laser right there. I've been watching a lot of videos of seeing how other successful runs been upgrading their ships to where they're playing as well. A couple things to note that I've learned when watching other runs is that a lot of people, certainly when they have their buddy, like to use that sort of pulse shield, that sort of green aura, especially with the buddy that kind of pops out a bit further, using him almost as like a melee weapon sometimes has its benefits. And I suppose on average that it actually is kind of a good way of using those three weapons, because not all of them have particular Swiss Army knife like qualities. The second thing involves our sort of super blast gauge, or that yellow gauge. That fills with when we are grazing bullets or grazing obstacles. So you might see that we kind of crowd, blocks or bullets a little bit more just to raise that gauge up. So rather interesting. A couple little small changes to the overall same formula, really. Weapon bonus there, and despite overall not feeling very good, an okay level 1, all things considered. I mean, we could, and what we certainly would like is to beat the first 3 levels without being touched. And with as many, bonus points, from these medals or balloons as possible. And looking pretty good on our money-wise as well. Certainly they're not worth points, but they will help us with upgrades. Or if we ever need a shield if one goes down, type of thing. Picking them up certainly, it's one of those long-term investment things. It's not going to affect your score, but potentially, extend your run, picking up more points than just picking up something that on the screen that's worth 1,000 points, for example, right there. I suppose I should also add this as well. When also watching other videos, I was like, what do they do with the wall? And as we're coming up to it now, it's not exactly right there, but people who've been watching my runs have been noticing at the end of this level here. There's a part that's just like, I don't even know what to do, aside from smashing my face into it 1,000 times, or, you know, doing a flip through it, you know, and you know, sort of sacrificing our blue gauge, despite how fast it, you know, it fills back up anyway, into just sort of avoiding damage. However, you know, lucky me, other people, other smarter people, more talented people had found that out, so we're going to see that. There it is. You know, the very bottom one. I'm not sure why we didn't just think, sure, let's just try all the blocks to see which one works the best. But yeah, the very bottom one is the very one is the one you want to hit. Interesting. I thought, you know, all the blocks kind of behaved in similar ways, where they just all took damage and went back and forth. Had no idea that the bottom one was sort of the secret block to just blast out of the way. And the second level boss, probably one of the more glass cannon bosses there are. Pick those up if you don't mind. No weapon bonus. And in the runs I watched, they didn't have a weapon bonus on that boss either, so nothing to really learn from there. But as we're coming through stage 3 here, we are our excuse me, holy shit, if I can speak. Our high score is 270,000 points. As I speak, right? 270,000 points. And then the whiteout blizzard fucking smashes us into some blocks. Rough way to lose our first life. You know, because we can get all the shields in the world, but if we crash into a mountain, you know, there's nothing going to help us there. So if we can quickly recover out of that. $183,000. Took that bullet right between the eyes. But it's tough. It's tough now that we don't have, like, you know, an array of firepower behind us. We have to be... Look at that. And who says we don't loop, right? Looping just at the right time to get exactly what we need, or at least on the way of exactly what we need. You know, some real, you know, aggressive play to kind of get what we need done. There we go. We're back up to full strength. Really in a good speed of, you know, in a good hastily manner. You know, no harm, no foul, really. Excuse me, aside from that loss of a life. Our shield is gone, though, too. There we go. Getting the hang of this cave now, too. Really know where he would kind of love that, you know, one-up, just to kind of fix things and kind of forget our own mistakes, but... 204,000, so we're not terribly far from our high score, provided we put this guy down. I had seen some videos of this boss fight where they take him to the very top of the screen. Oh my god. To the very top of the screen while he's in that attack, and then just spam bullets into him, and because he doesn't have a whole lot of hit points, he does kind of instantly die there. We really want that, and we're not going to get that. My god, just fuck. You know, and that's the problem, is like where we just have this little tiny pea shooter now, and not that's a particularly hard boss, but he's going to live forever if our focus is, yeah, on the snowflakes. Upsetting. You know, we were starting off pretty well, and yeah, that's not good. You know, we started off pretty well, and it was just a sort of, yeah, bad luck, I suppose. You know, just kind of frustrating because, you know, you would want to try to kind of just get back into the swing of things. You know, not waste too much time, and start really, you know, putting together a good run with some good points. You know, really make a big stride, and not be settled with, you know, the 270 we have right now. I think if we were, you know, if the tournament was to end in like 5 minutes, you know, what the fuck? Holy, my God. It's like, we're just insanely rattled. As I was saying, if the tournament was going to end in 5 minutes, I think we would place second or third if, like, nobody else was ever going to, you know, post another video. And we've, you know, using our spin attack on those enemies to kind of, you know, particularly recover. Oh my God. Fuck my life. This is rough. Oh yeah, go ahead and shoot that. I was like, yeah, shoot that upgrade right into the boxes. Thank you. We might not even make it through level 3. But yeah, you know, we could place 2 or 3, but I don't feel confident in it particularly. You know, I'd like to put a good, respectable run. You know, I really think, in a lot of runs, I think, like, particularly, like, a couple years ago, we did the Cho-Ren-Sha tournament. You know, and we spent a good amount of time in it, and, you know, my score at the end of it was probably the best I'll ever get, you know. And I felt really good about it. And I think, what was it, 4th, 5th, 6th? It was kind of a, you know, pretty heated tournament. So, Blade Buster as well, I think we placed pretty well. But yeah, I mean, I want to feel good about these runs. And I don't know if I can say that I feel particularly good about our 270,000. I know we can. That's the thing, is like, I know we can get into the 4th level. And then we've even beaten the 4th level. It's just, you know, not being particularly, you know, stupid or silly. You know, be patient. You know, I know part of the level 4, you know, they start tempting you with, you know, extra bonus points, and while the fire is trying to just, like, lash up and kill you. So I know there's a lot of things working against us in that level. But I think if we can make it through, largely, you know, we've got the boss covered. You know, it's one of those odd things, you know, we haven't really spent a whole lot of time in the 5th level. However, I can definitely see us beating the top, you know, the first 4 levels, and then just kind of stretching out, you know, our score as much as we can. You know, I guess whenever we lose a life or continue in this game, you know, it's never really been like, oh wow, that was challenging. It was like, no, we're fucking stupid, you know, like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. You know, so it's kind of like, hey, let's have at least one run when we're not, you know, not playing like the dumbest people alive. Jeez. Almost got owned there. There. And there's that sort of spam strat that we sort of learned there, where you can just really, and actually you get the 10k bonus when doing that, perhaps. Excuse excuse me. What happened? You know, I'm not. It's so weird. Like, you know, I spend the day doing whatever, and as soon as I'm doing videos, I feel like I'm like catching a cough. Really, no need to collect balloons right now. Really should have grabbed those gems before we jumped in, because we don't necessarily have all the gems in the world. Sort of have all we could ask for, but it's never a bad thing to be sort of over-prepared. Yeah, I can definitely see in an alternative world things like that bothering us, or rather killing us a few times before we figure it out. We're coming across the same thing. There we are. And if I recall, I think it's just those two, perhaps. You know, a bunch of volcanoes and just those two things. So this little crevice here is annoying. My God, and it doesn't help that we smashed into the wall either. We've learned in like doing the ruins area. Oh no, here's a third. Fuck. All right, learn something new every day, I guess. I was gonna say, we learned in the ruins that those sort of turrets fire twice and then kind of remain steady for a short time. However, I think maybe it's just going up there and doing the flip and killing off whatever we can, or even using our sort of Omega Blast just to kind of end it all. But we certainly haven't been doing ourselves favors, that's for damn sure. Again, I'm not sure if we're fighting this guy correctly, but we're fighting him pretty easy. I know, it makes me worry how that guy's throwing those power-ups that we're like in the wrong area. But all the same, just dodge this, dodge that. It's really not that hard, despite how hard I make it look, right? There you go. Sit down. Easy stuff. Here we are, stage 5. I don't think we have a whole lot left in the tank, to be completely honest, but at least we're not glitched out. It is a little upsetting that we're going to start this level, you know, if we were to die, start this level off with kind of weak upgrades. But what the fuck? Like, we just cannot, you know, we just cannot stop ourselves from flying into well, bullets that time, but I was going to say, like, the environment. Oh my God, that yellow guy, he's gonna get us. Not today, you yellow bastard. Oh, so miserable. When you're beaten down to a pulp, it's really hard to recover. So we want that, but interesting fight this is. Oh, don't have a lot of space to actually. Oh man, so don't really have the. Give me a break. I was going to say, we don't really have all the opportunity in the world to, throw in the damage there, but... Oh, fuck my life. Just take me out. I'm out. I'm out. Where's the eject button on this? Oh. Just end it. End my life. Alright, guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that stuff. And I'll come back and play the no.